bedrock of ancient civilizations, cradle of great religions, crucible of varied cultures, land of glorious monuments. India presents a rich heritage of art and culture which has attracted visitors through the centuries from far and near. Along its western coast, in the Aurangabad district of Maharashtra, lies the region that witnessed one of the earliest flowering of Buddhist art and architecture, Ajanta and Ellora. The caves of Ajanta nestle in the curved gorge of the Vaghora River. They were rediscovered in 1819 by a British Army officer, John Smith, while he was on a hunting expedition. These caves were hewn out of the mountain face, sculpted and beautifully painted from the 2nd century BC to the 6th century AD. The caves of Ajanta were created for the refuge of Buddhist monks during the monsoon. They are chaityas or prayer halls and viharas or monasteries. The beauty of Ajanta survives till today to tell the story of an era when hundreds of Buddhist caves were excavated in the hills of Western India. The paintings of Ajanta reveal an exquisite dimension of Indian art. They are also the fountainhead of Buddhist paintings all over Asia. The walls of these caves are richly decorated with Jatak tales, which are the stories of the previous lives of the Buddha. These depict the master's teachings of compassion and the qualities of virtuous living. The paintings reveal the rich palette and the excellence of line and color which the Indian artist had mastered 1,500 years ago. The Jatak paintings depict the whole cycle of life, from birth to death, reflecting the crowded drama of human emotions. They hold a mirror to the contemporary life of the monastery, the town, the palace, and the court. Decorative medallions adorn the ceilings and walls, which reveal a panorama of celestial and human figures interwoven with ornamental motifs. They hold the spectator spellbound by their radiant colors and rich beauty. Ajanta represents a beautiful confluence of the arts of painting, sculpture, and architecture. The sculpture here is remarkable for its classical qualities and displays a graceful elegance, restraint, and serenity. From birth to the Mahaparinirvan, his ultimate salvation from the cycle of rebirth, the caves of Ajanta are the artistic representations of the life and times of the Buddha. The creative impulse of Ajanta is reflected in the nearby cave site of Ellora. Here too we see the remnants of graceful sculpture and Chaitya architecture. This inscription dates the Ellora caves to be contemporary to Ajanta. There are fine, very expressive paintings in these caves. In the hills just outside the city are the Aurangabad caves. These also date from the 2nd century BC to the 6th century AD. The interiors have a grand stoop and sculptures of serene Buddhas and adoring devotees. "27 kilometers from Aurangabad lies another magnificent group of cave temples, Ellora, a unique site which embodies the artistic manifestations of 3 different faiths. Buddhist, Hindu and Jain caves were excavated in different phases here between the 5th and the 11th century. The Buddhist caves at Ellora represent the earliest period of the site. These chaityas and viharas mark a high point in the development of Buddhist architecture. Holding center stage at Ellora is the splendid Kailash temple, dedicated to Lord Shiva. It is estimated that craftsmen had to excavate several 100,000 cubic feet of rock to create Kailash, the most stupendous single work of art ever executed in India. Carved from the top of the cliff face to the bottom, it is a remarkable feat of the imagination, engineering skills, and perseverance of the artisans. The sculpted panels depicting Shiva and other Hindu deities are carved in deep recesses, which in a natural play of light and shade bring alive the mythology of these divine beings. River goddesses have a special place in the Hindu faith. They are among the most elegant images at Ellora. Dynamic, larger-than-life figures of the gods are carved out of the rock. At Ellora, the chisel of the sculptor has hewn the cliff face in an attempt to recreate the abode of the gods here on earth. The Jain caves here, dating from the 9th to the 11th century, follow the architectural tradition of the Buddhist and Hindu monuments. These caves are profusely ornamental in style and are supported by richly decorated columns and pillars. Close to Ellora is the greatly revered Krishneshwar temple, dedicated to Lord Shiva. Atop a hill, rising dramatically above the Deccan plain, is the fort of Daulatabad, once known as Devgiri. It was taken over in the 13th century by the Sultans of Delhi. It was renamed Daulatabad, or the City of Fortune. Within the fort are the Chand Minar and the royal palaces. The defense systems comprise deep rock-cut trenches, a moat, and double and triple rows of massive walls which made it virtually impregnable. The Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, after whom the city of Aurangabad is named, rests in this simple grave at Kuldabad. Bibi Ka Maqbara, representing the Mughal era in Aurangabad, is a replica of the famous Taj Mahal. This is the tomb of Aurangzeb's wife and is among the finest examples of Mughal architecture in the Deccan. Built in the 17th century, a remarkable engineering feat of the time is the Pan Chakki, a water-powered mill which was used to grind grain for pilgrims. On the way to the Ajanta caves from Aurangabad stands a beautifully carved 12th century Shiva temple in the village of Anwa. Intricately sculpted dancers and celestial beings adorn the columns of this temple. From an ancient heritage to an astounding scientific discovery, 190 kilometers from Aurangabad is Lonar. This is the world's largest impact crater in basaltic rock. It was formed over 30,000 years ago when a meteorite struck this region. Recently, vegetation life forms, earlier unknown to our planet, have been found in the lake of the crater. In and around the city of Aurangabad are luxury and budget hotels, which will make your stay comfortable and enjoyable. Even today, the ancient legacy continues in the arts and crafts of the region. Silver and copper inlay, bidriware, Paithani silk saris, and the soft mushru and himru shawls. So you can take home, besides vivid memories of a rich heritage, some beautiful reminders of your visit to Ajanta and Illora. Always to be cherished, never to be forgotten.